Sutton Stracke and Garcelle Beauvais have been inseparable since they both joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Garcelle joined RHOBH in season 10, making her debut when the cast attended New York Fashion Week. It was also when Sutton made her first appearance, coming on initially as a friend of Lisa Rinna. The two only became close when they decided to meet up for drinks in season 10, episode 11. The two immediately connected to being divorced, single moms, and Garcelle got Sutton's dry, southern sense of humor right off the bat. While many of the castmates seem more like coworkers when the cameras are off, Garcelle and Sutton are real friends both during and after filming. Over their past few seasons together, Garcelle and Sutton have had each other's backs no matter what. They always seem to align their targets. At one point it was Lisa, then Erika Jayne, and now it's Dorit Kemsley. They fight each other's battles, and as much as the two deny it, act as each other's mouthpieces. However, Garcelle announced on Instagram that she would be leaving the series to pursue her producing and acting career, which finally leaves us with a season to see Sutton alone. Honestly, I'm very excited to see Sutton stand on her own 2 feet. Sutton Stracke may change her ways without Garcelle Beauvais. Sutton has become increasingly hard to watch. In her earlier seasons, she was fun. Of course, she had her moments, but for the most part, she exuded Southern charm and humor. However, as time went on, her behavior became more and more erratic and volatile. She has been in feuds with practically every housewife. It started with Lisa, whom she had a very public showdown with over a table at a gala. The two attended the Elton John AIDS Foundation Gala in 2019 and couldn't agree on how Lisa scored an invitation. Sutton claimed that she bought Lisa's table, but Lisa insistently denied it. Shortly after the feud, Lisa announced her departure from the show. Then it was Erika, who at the time was going through a nasty public divorce and legal woes. Sutton made her opinions on Erika's story known, questioning the stories she was telling the other ladies in a not-so-nice way. This season, we are seeing a full-fledged war between Dorit and Sutton. The beginning of the season started off positive for the two, Sutton expressing her support for Dorit during her separation. However, things very quickly took a turn when Sutton started taking jabs at Dorit. Sutton acts like the villain and then plays the victim, and it's exhausting. She kicks people when they are down and then turns around and acts like she did nothing wrong and that everyone is attacking her. She came after both Erika and Dorit during the worst times of their lives, which Erika vocalized this season on the catamaran in St. Lucia. Sutton can never truly be held accountable for her actions because her right-hand woman, Garcelle, enables her. When Sutton ganged up on Erika, Garcelle never called Sutton out for her nasty comments. The same thing is happening with Dorit. Sutton knows no matter what she does, how nasty it is, Garcelle will always be there to defend her. Now that Sutton won't have someone constantly on her side, she will have to fight on her own. Being on an island alone may be just what Sutton needs to humble herself and get off her high horse. She needs to be held accountable for her behavior, and without Garcelle there to enable her, we may begin to see a shift in her demeanor. She won't have that constant sense of security like she did before. I sense we may see a kinder, more self-aware version of Sutton in the future. Sutton Stracke may forge some unexpected friendships. Without Garcelle, Sutton would be forced to find other friends in the group. Naturally, she will flock towards Kyle Richards. However, she will have the opportunity to get to know the other ladies whom she's burnt bridges with on her own terms. Maybe we will finally see Sutton, Erika, and Dorit move forward once and for all. Sutton will very quickly realize she's on an island alone and wants to get as many of the ladies in her corner as possible. She doesn't have Garcelle to enable her or act as her security net anymore. Look at what happened with Gizelle Bryant and Robin Dixon on The Real Housewives of Potomac. The two have a very similar dynamic to Sutton and Garcelle. They were thick as thieves, always backing each other up no matter what, and Robin would enable Garcelle with her shady and catty behavior. Now that Robin is gone, Garcelle is a different woman. She's had a complete change in attitude. Now that she doesn't have Robin cosigning on all of her behavior, she has to actually be friendly. I think we will see the exact same thing happen to Sutton now that Garcelle isn't coming back. I predict Season 15 has a brand new Sutton in store for us. Although I will miss Garcelle on my screen, I'm excited to see how Sutton navigates being on an island. There's a very real possibility she finally gets off her high horse and changes her behavior, forging some unexpected friends in the process. Sutton Stracke and Garcelle Beauvais, a friendship that defined a legacy. The sun set over Beverly Hills, casting a golden hue over the luxurious homes that dotted the hillsides. Behind the glitz and glamour of the city, reality television had a different kind of magic. It was in the drama, the camaraderie, and the genuine connections between people that the show The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills thrived. For years, the show had captured the attention of viewers who tuned in for the catfights, the glitzy parties, and most of all, the friendships that bloomed in the unlikeliest of places. Among all the friendships on the show, one had stood out as perhaps the most genuine, the bond between Sutton Stracke and Garcelle Beauvais. The beginning of a beautiful friendship. Sutton Stracke had only been a friend of in her first season on RHOBH, yet her impact was immediate. As a Southern woman with a sharp wit and unapologetically dry humor, she was quickly embraced by fans and castmates alike. Her debut season also marked the introduction of Garcelle Beauvais, a seasoned actress and powerhouse who joined the show in Season 10. Garcelle's entrance to RHOBH was iconic, with her debut at the cast's trip to New York Fashion Week, where the world was introduced to her elegance, poise, and no-nonsense attitude. The two women didn't hit it off at first sight, but their connection was undeniable. They met for drinks in an episode of Season 10, where the bond between them truly began. Both were single mothers, both had been divorced, and both understood the nuances of navigating a public life while managing personal battles. Garcelle instantly appreciated Sutton's dry humor, something many of the other cast members struggled to grasp. What began as a simple drink quickly evolved into a genuine friendship that would become one of the cornerstones of the show for seasons to come. Their bond wasn't just a product of shared experiences, it was also rooted in a sense of loyalty. Sutton and Garcelle, despite their differences, found strength in each other. Garcelle was the kind of woman who didn't hesitate to speak her mind, but she also understood the power of silence, of holding back when necessary. Sutton, on the other hand, was often more outspoken, her words cutting through the tension of any room she entered. Together, they balanced each other, their personalities meshing in a way that made them the ultimate duo. A friendship built on loyalty. The strength of their friendship was evident in how they had each other's backs during even the most challenging moments on the show. Both Garcelle and Sutton were outsiders in their own right. Sutton's Southern roots made her an easy target for the other women, who often misinterpreted her humor and misunderstood her intentions. Garcelle, as the first Black woman on the show, found herself often marginalized or having to prove herself in a way that her castmates didn't. It was in these moments of vulnerability that they turned to each other, creating an unspoken alliance that protected them from the pressures of the show. Whether it was standing up to Lisa Rinna, who had a long history of stirring up drama, or confronting Erika Jayne over her messy divorce and legal troubles, Sutton and Garcelle never hesitated to fight each other's battles. They were a force to be reckoned with, and their relationship was one that felt authentic, free from the backstabbing and manipulation that sometimes ran rampant on the show. They may have denied it, but everyone could see that their friendship was a shield against the chaos around them. Even when the other women seemed more like coworkers, Sutton and Garcelle's bond remained steadfast. Their moments of laughter, their private conversations off camera, and their shared experiences created a foundation of trust that few of the other housewives could claim. The duo's ability to laugh together, even in the face of conflict, became one of their trademarks. Their friendship was undeniably the highlight of many seasons, and it had a magnetic quality that drew fans in. But as with all things, change was inevitable. Garcelle had made her mark on RHOBH and had become one of the fan favorites. Her authenticity and strong sense of self resonated with viewers, and she used her platform to not only address the issues within the show, but also to champion causes important to her. However, during a quiet moment in 2025, Garcelle made a surprising announcement on Instagram. She would be leaving the show to pursue her career in producing and acting.